What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's God Flip here. This episode I want to go into depth about a few things. I've been doing a lot of filming while riding, and you have thoughts that come into your head, but after watching these videos, after editing, it's like you don't really get to get a clear thought out sometimes. So I wanted to just sit down for a minute and talk to you guys directly. What's been going on the past couple of weeks, improvement changes and things like that. So first, I ended up making my own Kuji pads, quote unquote, or like Kuji pads. What I ended up doing at first, before I even got this far, while I was at Walmart, I saw the mouse pads, for the mouse pads that actually have your wrist supports. And I bought 2 of those. I think they were like $9. And the wrist supports this is before I even had the foam. And I used those actually towards the bottom of my EUC, which really helped with stability and just all around, just a level of comfort. But while I've been riding and going through my training, I noticed that having cushion higher up, something here to support while you're riding, greatly improves your control over your EUC. So I made these, used Velcro. Now I should have did it in reverse. I should have put the soft Velcro on this side, but nonetheless, this is just an experiment test version to see how I like it. I have them on both sides. You can see, both come off. And when I tell you the improvement that these things give me as far as handling and control, I spoke about it in my last video, but I'm going to depth and I'll actually show you a video of the difference between having these on and having these off in a minute. Let's talk about gear. I know you haven't seen me with any gear or very little gear in all my videos, but I do have gear. This is my helmet. This is my Ice Storm helmet. Got this about 2 weeks ago. That was using my knee pads. These are very, very comfortable. These are just basic knee pads. I got these from I think Walmart or Target or something like that. I ordered full knee shin dual guard protection. Unfortunately, the place where I ordered it from, they were out of stock and they had to order from somebody else, and it's a nightmare, but they're on their way. So maybe by the next video after that, I'll have them here. And those are the dual sport full shin knee protection with the brake. You can bend your knee and it still has protection, and that will be going along with the helmet when I perform my speed tests and things like that. But for right now, for casual riding, when I'm doing around the neighborhood, I'm good with just these. The truth of the matter is, when we were riding skateboards and bicycles and jumping over hoods of cars and doing all this crazy stuff, not one person came out in those streets and said, "You guys should have safety gear on. You guys should have." Nobody ever did that. Not parents, nobody. And we were, we're doing gnarly things. And this is how I grew up. And like I said, with the grace of the angels, I haven't suffered any severe injuries, and a lot of that is due to playing it safe. And while we're doing all these things, living by the sword and knowing what you're getting yourself into and committing to that, and knowing that if something goes wrong, that you're prepared to deal with the consequences that they come. So that's how I've been riding. So that's why I'm a lot more lax on wearing safety gear, even though I'm getting into a new sport such as EUC. But do not follow me by any means. I push it to the limit. Like I said, I like living on the razor's edge a little bit. It keeps me young, keeps me on my toes. So having that little bit of danger, for me, helps me become a better rider. It helps me to keep myself within the margins and knowing, hey, this could be this could be that. When I'm riding, my brain is kind of like a Sherlock Holmes, where I'm looking at all types of situations as they're happening in real time and saying, okay, well, if this happens over here, that will happen. If this will happen over here, this will happen. This road seems the safest bet. And it's like a mathematical equation that goes on while I'm riding continuously, while I'm also enjoying and looking at the scenery, that I'm inputting all this information and saying, okay, this is the best line, this is the safest line, this line is fun, but there's this danger. And being able to make a determination of should I, shouldn't I, or whatever the case may be. So that's why, I'm a little bit more lax with my equipment, but I still do have it and I still do wear it, and I know when and where to really have it and when not to. So But don't follow me as a new rider. I will still recommend to all new riders, if you haven't been riding extreme sports pretty much all your life and you're not accustomed to falling and you don't know how to roll and all the little, you know, nuances that come with, you know, being an extreme sport guy for, you know, that many years, put your gear on. Let's speak on some fun stuff. The level of exploration that I get to have riding this EUC in my neighborhood is beyond numbers, beyond the scale. It's beyond the scale. There are so many times me driving my car, going down the street or going somewhere, and you look down a block or you look down somewhere and you ask yourself, I wonder what's up there. I wonder what's back there. I wonder what's over there. Well, for me, I don't have that question anymore, at least in my neighborhood. This thing, and it's so funny because even when you're going out, when you're in your car and you're just going out for a drive, even then, the inconvenience of making that left turn, making that right turn, or stop, whatever, you don't really tend to explore unless you're really in an exploration mood. But even then, you don't get to go up those side streets. Yesterday, I went nuts. I went all the way down, maybe about 5 miles, and then turned around on the opposite side of the street and went up and down every single road, every back, every turn. It took me, I don't know, it was a long ride, but it was so incredible to find and discover all these neighborhoods and little parks and things that are right here in my neighborhood that I had no idea that was here, because I never explored and I never went up that street and I never got it. So I can't even tell you what that's worth to me in a number scale, you know, as far as price. Like that just, it's already so relaxing riding these things. Fun fact, the first time I got lift, the wheel tilt, so I'm in this parking lot and I'm gunning it. This is early, so all the settings are so set, so I think the tilt back started about 19 miles an hour or something like that. The first time that happened, that tilt back happened while going 19 miles an hour, I felt like that chick in the Titanic, Rose, when she was like, Jack, I'm flying, Jack. That's exactly what it felt like. I was like, whoa, like this is what you guys have been enjoying for all these years. Like that was just incredible to me. So couple that with the ability to go anywhere, to go up, to go down, see all these new things that are within the place the confines of where you've been living, and not knowing these gems are there. It's like I said, man, I am so grateful to be a part of this community. I'm so glad that, I guess, you know, timing is everything. So I found this at the perfect time, you know, where, you know, maybe if I found it a few months earlier, I wouldn't be who knows. But I'm not going to stop exploring, and that's all I'm doing now. You know, I stopped my aspirations of traveling on the plane as much as I used to travel on a plane, and now I'm going back to, once things get safe, to traveling on a train, because I can bring this anywhere, and I can just buy a ticket for the weekend, go to such and such, get off my EUC at the train station, and just go. And you know, get me an Airbnb somewhere, and as long as I got a place to charge up, just go. You know, at least before the work season starts to pick up heavy and we get back to life as we know it, or as we used to know it, which will come soon. All right, let's talk about tire pressure. Is there any food? Shouts out to you. I watched your video probably about 3 weeks ago, before I even had I had my Tesla for sure, but before I even started really riding and getting into it. I watched your video about tire pressure and the difference, and at the time I didn't really understand, nor did I want to play with my tire pressure. But I know when I did get my Tesla, I think I pumped it up to about 35 psi, because that was the recommended, and I've been riding around with that for a long time, the 35 psi point. But I think about 2 weeks ago, I dropped the pressure down to about 25 psi, like you said, and whoa. Now, again, I'm new. This is my second EUC. Air wheel doesn't count. I actually rode the air wheel a few times last week, because I haven't ridden it since I got my Tesla. And the difference is night and day. It's almost harder to ride the air wheel now than it is to ride my Tesla, but I actually learned how to ride on the air wheel, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, lowering the tire pressure made another 25% difference to my riding, to the way the EUC performs, to the way it doesn't throw me in the air like it used to when it used to hit those bumps, where it was very floaty and where now it's like it sinks into the bumps a little bit. The ride isn't as squirrely when I take off, or when I'm just riding, and I just I attribute that to me being a new rider and all that, and how you kind of take off and the thing wobbles back and forth a little bit. Well, try lowering your tire pressure to about 25 psi and see how that feels. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Want to take my time and put good videos together for you. I know I'm just starting out, but I definitely want to be able to look back a year or two from now, be able to see the growth, but also be able to see that even when I started out, I put my best foot forward doing these. Yeah, man, hope you guys enjoyed the channel this week, and we'll see you in a few days. We'll leave you with some parting shots of me riding recklessly in the road with no gear.